Hey, how's it going? Russell here, and today we're gonna be eating and just ranting a bit, I guess. Uh, getting some social life out here. I've been in a weird space recently. My stomach has been absolutely wrecking my life. Uh, I've thrown up 3 times in a week from eating, and when I drink alcohol, I feel like shit, which is weird. I love alcohol. Alcohol loves me. I love food. I was eating 4,000 calories a day. I and now in the past few weeks since this bug started, I've lost 10 pounds. Uh, but I'm trying to get back. Haven't been working out since started feeling this low energy, all that. But we have for I guess dinner we could call it, even though it's 1:28 in the morning. But for dinner, we have 3 pieces of steak. Look how appetizing that looks, no? Isn't that delicious? Isn't that nice? But anyways, I hope you all doing good. I'm trying to move the chair, but my cat is currently like positioned himself lying down under the chair, so if I move it, I might crush him. And I don't want to crush the cat, but what has to be done has to be done too. You know what I'm saying? Uh, sorry, bud. He was sleeping the entire like past 5 hours right there, and I got some food and gave him a little kiss on the forehead. Do cats have foreheads? Do dogs have foreheads? Really? That's a good question. I don't really know. Uh, hmm. We'll think about that one. Anyways, uh, hope y'all doing good. Hope y'all staying blessed. But something I want to talk about quickly today is the new update on the Epstein emails. I'm not sure if y'all saw, but it's not looking good for our boy Trump. Recently I was having a debate with a friend in New York, and he was adamant that Trump is a pedophile. And for me, I disagreed. I don't think it's a political thing to say, but I disagreed just because I did not think there was enough evidence. He pointed to certain words Trump would say, or how he hosted a pageant for young girls and said certain comments, or how he talked about his daughter in a, I guess, somewhat sexual manner. And I mean, I will say I'm a devil's advocate, right? But I also, let me hold the mic here. But like, come on, man. I feel like to make that such a massive accusation like that is you need something a little bit more concrete other than some comments that are said. And especially like something like the times were different then, comments were acceptable. Trump's, 80 years old, damn near, or maybe he's past that by now. I don't remember. Fucking Joe Biden is old as shit too. And like our presidents are just old. So they're born in a time where saying that stuff is a little bit more acceptable. And Trump's the type of guy who won by saying things that people don't accept, or people don't really want to say, or things like that. And sometimes people connect with it, sometimes people don't. I mean, again, I'm not trying to defend Trump or say anything like you said is right. I just, again, do not think it defines him as a pedophile as a result. Again, I think that's quite a large statement. But with that in mind, the new Epstein emails don't really help the case against the Epstein files don't really help Trump out here, as we know that Jeffrey Epstein is dead. Did he kill himself? We don't know. FBI says he didn't. There's conspiracies. They'll probably live on forever. We'll probably never find out. But these emails from him, some of them to Ghislaine Maxwell, who's, part of this pedophilia ring he was running, and also like his lover or something like that. I don't know. They have a weird relationship. But they are not supporting, they're not helpful for Trump. They talked about how Trump's the one guy who has embarked, that there was a victim, they blacked out the name for obvious reasons, I guess, that was at his house for some period of time. And that is where, and then also again, there's another email too or like kind of like prepping him for like to speak, and how like I don't know, it was weird. And now this goes beyond of just like, oh, it's just, stuff he's saying and weird things too. This goes beyond reasonable doubt. And this reaches that area where like I think people should be a little bit wary and uncertain about it. I mean, again, it's like only like 3 emails that really show some evidence like this, and we're gonna need more. Release the fucking files. Release the damn files. But we can't go without acknowledging that this is damning to an extent. The fact that, first of all, that Trump was for years so adamant about releasing the Epstein files. Then, once he got elected this year, his people, including the FBI and those he put into power from his presidency, they all started like slowly retracting away from the desire to release the files, even going as far as saying there's nothing there. I think that FBI Kash Patel said. And I mean, I know friends who are longtime Trump supporters. When that was announced that the files would not be released, some of them were shocked. And like for a second they're like, wow, I really don't trust Trump here. And again, we're in a realm right now where this is all conspiratorial. Nothing I'm saying can really be true or false. Who the fuck knows, really? But it's interesting. It's really interesting, and I don't think this helps his case at all. So, point to you, my friend, who was saying that. Again, I think you have more evidence to make a stronger case now. And shit, Trump. I really didn't think you did, because also regarding Trump's character, I feel like, he's obviously big guy, big loud guy who says stuff like this and all that bullshit. But he's a very intelligent guy too, and I think he's wise enough to have always stayed out of trouble. Because, like, for instance, he does not drink, he never drinks, he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't party in that sense. But then I guess there's also, like, cases where, with, like, the stripper or porn star or whoever, I forget her name, that they went to court with, that grand jury had to give a settlement out for, and certain things here and there where Donald Trump is not in the best position, I'd say, to defend himself, as he was a year or two even before, with all this coming together. Now, with all this in mind, I think it's way too early to assume what's going to happen now. There's not enough evidence. There's nothing accusatorial out here yet. The victim hasn't stepped up or anything from the Epstein shit. I'm not sure they will, just for a lot of safety reasons as well, I'd assume. Like, it's tough. But with time, if the Epstein files get released, which I think they're looking to vote on that soon, and more Republicans are pressured not to vote yes, even though it goes against Trump, because of their, because of their own people that want to understand what the fuck is going on. It's, yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. I'm very interested to see what's gonna happen with that. I mean, for those that know me, for those that don't, I am a proponent of justice, and I don't like taking sides permanently in situations. I like to take the sides of facts and evidence and what seems to be the right way. So I don't like backing up people. I mean, in my personal life, sometimes maybe I should do it more and back the people around me. But I'm a real ass boy. I gotta keep it a bug a lot of the times. So with that in mind, we'll close that chapter regarding Trump for now, and see how the files get released, if they do, what happens if anything, and really the long shot of there being any legal repercussions for that. Yeah. I really don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but we're gonna take a few bites before we move on to the next topic of discussion. Yeah. Hey, how's it going? We're back again. I just had a piece of the steak. It's decent. It's alright. It's getting a little bit cold, obviously, as I'm busy ranting and shit. But I don't mind. I don't mind a cold piece of meat. Pause. But I'm a very slow eater, but I eat a lot. Again, I was having 4,000 calories plus a lot of days over this summer and this past few months. So a lot of times the food gets cold, but I'll keep on eating it. I'm proud of my work. I chef it up in the kitchen. And those who are blessed enough to have seen that, you're welcome. But anyhow, now we're back. Next topic I want to talk about two different things. I think the first one though I'm gonna go is I think I said we're done with Trump, but I want to bring up Trump and Mamdani. Now I already made a whole video talking about how Trump and Mamdani actually have very similar campaign strategies, how they both use populism, how they benefited from the fact that their political opponents were part of the status quo, actually did nothing, and also maybe even hurt the country, whereas Cuomo killed people during COVID with his plans when he was head of the state, and also sexual allegations don't help either. Whereas Joe Biden was practically incompetent, and then Harris came in last minute and had very little plan, very little strategy, no message. But then also, again, it's not that she's a bad person; it's just she had a bad campaign. She cannot go against any of the Biden policies that were bad, that a lot of people felt were bad because it hurt them economically. I was in an Uber in New York going to the airport with a Dominican woman. She was a Democrat her entire life. And she said, this time I'm going to vote for Trump. It was about a month before the elections. She said, I'm going to vote for Trump because I need to look out for my family. And no matter what, my family is my number one and most important thing. The Democrats have been failing me these past 4 years, and Harris is not doing enough. And I think Trump will actually help out. And that's a sentiment that you can't disagree with, because it's a sentiment. It's how you feel. If you feel that you're doing worse, then you're doing worse, whether or not the stats say otherwise. And I don't think the stats really helped much either. So Trump and Mamdani had similar campaigns off that. They both used social media effectively. Trump was on every single podcast that I could think of for my demographic. Mamdani was not afraid to do the same. They both had strong messages, used populism, and really had very strong campaigns that projected them to victory. Yeah, you just projected there. It's super interesting, that stuff. But I just want to bring that up because I'm conflicted. Again, my politics are very in the air. Personally, I define myself as a libertarian. So as someone that kind of likes the government to stay out the way and let people do their things, and we have our negative rights that are more important, like freedom of speech, freedom to do what we want, as long as we don't infringe upon other people's rights. Obviously, that's very different from someone like Mamdani, who is very socialist and democratic socialist, I guess you could say, but quite socialist either way, where he wants the government involved heavily. Things like government-funded stores, free public transportation, etc. And personally, I disagree with a lot of... I really do disagree with a lot of his policies. I really do. I just don't know if they would work. But what's damning to me is that I think I might have voted for him. And that's crazy to think about that. I, a libertarian, might have voted for Mamdani. And I think about this too because I think about the Trump election too. Whereas him versus Harris, who would I have voted for there? And I'm not sure I'll have to release this because this is personal information about voting, I guess. But for me, sorry, I told people I was not able to vote during the election, unfortunately. I was in New York and I was voting for Florida, and the mail got stuck in the mail thing, and my roommates could not find the key. And I did not find out until months later that the mail ballot came for voting. So that's fun. But I was planning to vote for Kamala Harris over Trump. And It's weird. I'm because I'm still very I was very conflicted. Uh, yes, Trump's character sucks, but I mean, I try to remain as objective as possible because I don't think Harris's character is great either. I don't. I personally just don't like her as a person. I think she comes off as very disingenuous, and in politics, I think you need to be real. But those are secondary and third, maybe even to what's more important objectively wise, and also my moral compass. And one of the main reasons why I cannot vote for Trump, again, it's not about politics, it's about my own moral compass, is that I am a man of justice, and the January 6th insurrection, which he continuously fails and declines to say was wrong, say that he didn't lose the election, he did win the election, that is horrible, I think, for democracy. It's not good for our country where you force your people and your voters, especially with Trump, whose fan base is so powerful and will take his words as Holy Spirit and the holy text almost, for him to say it's rigged, for him to really demonize the other party because of it, and then also get indicted for this stuff, but these people still back him up. I personally can't vote for a candidate that will do that to a country because it's wrong. It's just completely wrong. Yes, the election was very, very close, and if you look at the stats, it was super fucking close. We're in a country of maybe close to 400 million people now, like 370, 380, I think. And if you look at the votes, it really came down to around 18,000 votes in the direction of Joe Biden over Trump. And why 18,000 is because Trump and Biden were battling across the states. States like California and Florida were always going to go blue and red respectively. And so those votes are not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the three swing states that decided the entire election. I think it was Georgia, Pennsylvania, and one other state, maybe Carolina. And what's insane is that through all the states, only 18,000 vote difference between Trump and Biden. Meaning that if 18,000 people, a minute percentage of this country, I'm not sure, the 100 plus million that voted, how many people voted? Next time I do this, I need to have a computer and fact check. I don't really have the set prepared for that right now. I apologize. But to say that's outrageous, for it to be that fucking close, and for Biden to just edge it out. There's, of course, you could say things, oh, it's rigged. Super close. But to react the way you did, to somewhat support an insurrection, but it was really your supporters, but then to defend them profusely and not say it was wrong, not admit that you lost the election is horrible for democracy. It's not right at all. And I cannot vote for Trump because of that. And I think now when he is president at the moment, there are a lot of things I don't really support either, as he is really just going after the Democratic Party, after Joe Biden still. Whereas he's really trying to break apart and divide this country even more, it feels like. Where he has a personal vendetta against a lot of people. And he's using his power dictatorially almost, it feels like, based off what I'm seeing, after these people. And yes, there's the argument that, he's going after justice and finding just means, but there's a limit to it, I think. That's the point of democracy, and he's really pushing the boundaries of the United States Constitution and the laws and regulations that we set for our people in power. It's crazy to see. And I'm not that fond of it, like I said. I don't really support it. So that alone, maybe not be able to vote for him. I'll say this also, as him as a president now, there's something else that while I support, I can't support either. And that is to do with immigration. I understand that we have an immigration problem in the United States. And that especially states on the borders and and communities throughout the country really feel the problems of crime, of maybe job loss to immigrants or whatever it may be. But to say that immigrants are a problem is bad. And what I mean is that, yes, I'll say this, and I think it's very fair to say that we need to protect our borders. We needed to not let more illegal immigrants in and find a way to get the bad ones out. I think that's something that should be agreed on across all parties. Like, we should not be letting bad people into our country and giving them incentives to stay here. I mean, in New York, it was absolutely horrific, whereas the city or the state or the government was paying for them to live in luxury hotels. They closed down a school right next to where I lived in New York for immigrants to stay in. And they're not adding any value to society. There's no pathway to be additional members of society. They're just living there and rotting almost. It's outrageous. And that's a big, big problem. And there has to be something done about that, 100%. But when you cause so much fear and pandemonium in a country that is fueled by immigrants, there's a lot of illegal people. I know illegal immigrants, of course. But there's good legal immigrants. There's people who've been here for decades, especially in Miami. Oh my God, the Latinas and Latinos in Miami. Oh, sorry about that. Anyways, the Latinos and Latinas in Miami, there's so many legal immigrants, but they're contributing members of society. They do great, and they do a lot of the jobs that people don't want to do as well. To have people scared to enter the country for tourism even because they're afraid of getting deported, and it's a horrible set of immigrants is not healthy. And I try to stay in the loop of what sentiments are across the country. So I know a lot of people that are conservative, I know a lot of people that are liberal, and on social media I try to follow both sides as well. And what sucks about this now is that his supporters now, some of them have the mindset that immigration is bad, which is not true, where they're saying things like, oh my God, I bet they were immigrants when it's someone that does bad. But we're all immigrants. Look, I'm a firstborn American. So many people are first, second, and third generations in this country. That is the American dream. We come all from immigrants. So to have that sentiment set throughout the country that immigration is bad and have your supporters not believe in immigration is damning. It's horrible. And like bring again together the dictatorial part and the immigration. Zoran Mamdani, who I'm going to talk about right now too, is the fact that they're looking to deport him, find ways to do that. And that was a news cycle. Come on, guys. Like, it's so bad for us. It's not a right way to rule. And I'm about justice, and that's just not right. Like, he's sure you might disagree with it because he's a socialist and you're conservative, and I guess more capitalist, let's say. But to take away an enemy by looking to deport them rather than letting fair play happen, letting the people vote, goes against democracy entirely. And really, another thing about Trump and Mamdani that's very similar is that they both boosted their voter confidence by the enemy attacking them. Especially in 2016 when Trump won the first time. The more people that hated on him, the more attention he got. And then the stronger that people felt around him because like, oh wow, they really want this guy gone because he's going to be doing these good things. Mamdani is the same. It's like, oh, billionaires are paying so much money to get him to not win the election. He must really be doing something good for the poor, for the people who will feel impoverished, for the housing crisis, etc. in New York. It's very similar. It's really interesting case study. And I mean, so coming from an Argentinian background, populism is something that I don't entirely support just because of how poorly it's affected our country in Argentina with the Peronism. And now Milei is, I think, doing a great job at bringing it back to the prowess that it used to be close to a century ago now. But populism is still an important campaign strategy where you understand the needs of the people, but then you're also getting them to unite with you because of that. But then also, I guess, having this divisiveness where I am part with you and the norm of Cuomo, of Biden, of Harris. We're not part of that. We're part of the normal people. Where Mamdani is on the city bike. Where Trump's at McDonald's, which I think actually helped them a lot out at campaign advertisements. It's really interesting. And I really think that Trump is doing good stuff too. I have to say that Trump is doing good stuff as well. This rant, again, is a little bit... It wasn't as structured as I thought it would be, because I have a lot of thoughts about this overall. But I just had to get out here too. That Trump is doing good stuff too, that I have to say. And one of the reasons why I would have voted for him, and I think this is just objective, and I think we're really seeing it now too, is that his foreign policy is elite. I think he has one of the best foreign policies that we've seen in a minute. He ran a campaign of ending wars that started in a Biden campaign. Whether they're caused by him, I'm not really sure about that. But he ran a campaign on looking to end those wars. Oh, can I turn on the gain a bit? Hello? Alright. I might have been talking really loud this past 18 minutes or 17 minutes. Fucking hell. Whatever. What was I gonna say? Yeah, his foreign policy. He's honestly and objectively done a great job relative to Biden and I think what Harris would have done. He's helped end 6 or 7 wars, and I'm not even kidding with that joke. He's done a lot. Whereas with, I think, Sudan recently agreed on a peace deal that was pushed forward by American initiatives, where Israel and Palestine reached a ceasefire, which is damning, where Cambodia and Laos, maybe, I don't remember, Cambodia, Laos, Pakistan and India, which are both nuclear powers, crazy, Russia, Ukraine. He's actively involved in all these situations. Now, all of them are not, solved yet, and there's still a lot going on, but he's doing a great job at being a president with this, and using the power of the United States wisely and putting us back in the forefront as a global force. And I really felt like we were weakened under Biden because I don't think he ran the country. It was the people behind the scenes, whether it's Pelosi, Harris, or whoever. They really ran the policies out here, and Biden was just the face of it. He was not conscious. He has problems. And that's just facts. That's what he dropped out for a reason. And I really support that from Trump. I'm really proud of him to be an American, knowing that we are power and that we're helping bring peace throughout the world. And that's also further with Venezuela too. Venezuela is going through a shithole with Maduro. But I recently actually got to see Machada speak in person, which was incredible to see her passion for the country, and she's done incredible things to combat Maduro's reign. What's up, Kat? And now Trump's doubling down with this too, putting military pressure on them, not going to war, but military pressure, increasing bounty, seizing assets from Maduro, are all positive things for a communist country that is just really ruining the people, where millions of them have fled, and more will flee if things do not get fixed. There's a massive Venezuelan community here in Florida, Colombia, and throughout the world because of the diaspora that Maduro created by flaunting the country through communism and corruption, really, where he didn't win the last election. He rigged it. Machada showed that he rigged it, which is insane. And, I mean, maybe Putin did that too, but a little bit, that one isn't as proven, I guess. And that's a whole different story. I think Putin in Russia, Putin's old, and once he passes away, it's very interesting to see what happens with that. Same with Maduro. Yeah. But I think it's really interesting that I think he's done a great job with that. Regarding tariffs, I'm honestly not too informed of whether they're good or bad. I know it's helped position us in some ways, but also hurt us economically. And Trump even said on his campaign that prices will go up at first with tariffs. So at least respect him for having some honesty about that. But then like today, like he's talking about how Walmart 25% cheaper, but in reality, the Walmart package is actually containing less things and different things. It is actually cheaper. It's about 6% cheaper if you compare the same products as last year. But it's just, we'll see. And also the tariff stimmy is gonna come now. Ooh, let's see about that. Anyhow, though, I do think it's positive in that way. And again, we have to look at politics with objective reality, not bipartisan and if it's Republican it's bad, if it's Democrat it's bad. If there's good on both and there's bad on both. Again, Trump's attacking his enemies like there's hell, and his immigration is a little bit too strong for my liking. And maybe in the long run it'll work out from immigration. But he's doing a great job on foreign policy. I can't really think of what other main aspects of his campaign is going on right now. I mean, I really was a proponent of Doge when it first came out. As I've been saying for years, I'm worried about our government spending, where it's not only spent so much money, but it's spent wastefully too on projects that no one knows about, on things that we don't really understand. And I think Elon and Vivek being on the team was, in hindsight, initially the right thing. Obviously, it did become what it was. Elon separated himself a bit. I don't know what the fuck happened with Doge, but they've saved some money, which is good. I think Vivek wants to go more through the regulatory stance. So he's running for governor of Ohio, I believe. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, I support it, man. And before I continue on to the next topic, I'm gonna eat another piece of steak, because I had one piece and I'm gonna have another piece. Okay, bye. Hi, we're back. I ate another piece of steak. I have one more left. But quickly, before I continue on with other topics, I wanted to say two things I thought about while eating. One is that Rwanda and Congo, the DRC, were also engaged in a war that was helped resolved by the Trump administration and the United States. And secondly, I think another big reason why I want to vote for Mamdani, and again, this comes off as really young, naive, and maybe selfish, but I love the idea of experimentation. And, again, yes, I really disagree with everything that he goes for. I'm not a socialist or proponent of that methodology for governance and society. But I think this is going to be an amazing case study for us, for the modern generation of socialism in the United States. In the biggest city of the United States, New York City, the business hub of the world, with socialism. It has a hub for business with socialism. It's insane. I mean, again, realistically, most of what he's going to want to push for won't have it, because he still has to go to Albany, the state government, to get a lot of things approved. And he's only there for a short period of time. There is a lagging effect that's going to happen. And there's a lot that needs to be done by him, a lot of work to be done to really get people to rile up around him for socialism. But I'm so curious to see what happens. And naively, I also think, all right, so if he pushes his socialism and he gets his policies out and doesn't work, that's case closed, it's shut, then we can move on in life. Or if it works, then I have to admit that maybe socialism is good in some situations. That's fine. And I mean, that's a discussion for another time about my personal beliefs. That, sometimes libertarian, but with empathy and, I guess, youth and poorness, I also see the value of socialism too, of course. But so I'm young and naive, and I'm very curious to see this experimentation and see a case study. I went to a business school. I love case studies. So seeing what happens there is very exciting for me. Alright, now we're done with politics for today. And I want to get to another topic that's very close to my heart. the Miami Heat. I've been wanting to make a video about the Miami Heat, but I just did not know where to go with it. Before the season started, I was scared for us. Because not only did we go winless in the preseason, we went 0-6 in the preseason. The last time the Heat went 0-6 in the preseason, we won only 15 games in like 2004 or something, 2003. So it does not bode well for us in telling. But part of me these last couple of years has been nervous and worried for Eric Spoelstra's job, which is weird to say because he's gotten us to 2 finals and he's done great things. But then there's things like getting swept 4-0 against Cleveland and having no sense of life for a team offensively. No offense, and then, of course, fell apart defense because we lost this both ways. But it's... I was worried. I got nothing to say. I was worried for Spoelstra. And the Heat overall. And then I saw the first game of the season. And though we lost, my mind changed. We were fast, pacey, gritty, and it was every man as part of a team. Which, with the current Heat roster, we need. Because I'm really worried for our roster. We have no number one option. Tyler Hero went silent during the Cavs when they started double teaming him, and we had no one else to go to. Bam didn't do shit either. And I was really worried for the Miami Heat offense. We've always been defensive and gritty, but we couldn't produce on the offensive side. And of course, defense is necessary in playoffs, but you gotta fucking score in a league where the scoring averages goes up and up every single year. And now, the Miami Heat have the number one scoring offense in the NBA. We average more points than any other team. We have the highest pace more than any other team. We have more assists than any other team. And what's crazy is that it's a team effort. Like Jokic, I think the Nuggets are second highest scoring in the NBA. He scored 55 points yesterday. 55 fucking points. The highest scorer in the Heat this year, I think, is Norman Powell's 33 against Cleveland. Which, by the way, great fucking game, the first one. We lost yesterday, but the game winner from Wiggins and the entire game was very exciting to watch. But everybody's contributing. Jaime Jaquez is set for a 6th Man of the Year and Most Improved candidacy for both. He's playing amazing as a driver down the lane, as a rebounder, because we need fucking rebounding, and distributing too, getting near triple doubles every single night. Davion Mitchell, who we got from the Jimmy Butler trade with him and Wiggins, he's been performing above his pay grade. He's a lockdown defender, always, we know that. But he's doing enough to score, getting like 12 points a game at least, efficiently to efficient 12 points. And then he's passing the ball so well. Against Orlando, that first game, he had 14 assists. And he's getting no turnovers for most games, doing so well with the ball as a true point guard. Tyler Hero has been injured, and he's not a point guard too, so it's really nice to see that we have that backup too. Also, we drafted Kasparas. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's, European. But he's injured or not playing for whatever reason. And it's good to see that we have Davion helping it. And then Drew Smith too. He is a defensive dog. I love Drew Smith. Offensively, he's getting there. But there's a lot of things to be hopeful about the Miami Heat as a team. But I still do think we need the number one option. People are currently talking about us trading for Ja Morant. I just don't think that's the right thing we need. I'm not sure he's the guy for us right now. I thought last year he would have been the guy for us, honestly, because we need that driving and that ability to get to the lane. Because Bam isn't, strong, and that way he's a 6'9" center. And Kelly Ware is great around the rim. He has a beautiful touch. Honestly, he has one of the best touches I've seen out of any NBA player. But he's still young and has a lot to develop, and I think this season has showed that. And again, I thought Morant would have been good for us. Now, Norman Powell has really taken that out the way in the new Heat offense. Everyone's shooting free throws, and Norman Powell is getting to the fucking lane. He can shoot and he can get to the lane. He's doing great. I'm not sure if he's going to be here after this year because he only has 1 year left on his contract, and he's going to get paid big money that I'm not sure we could afford. with the team and vision we have for the future, looking to sign someone like Giannis, Trae Young, etc. But he's doing great for us this year. I'm really excited to see what happens with him. Realistically, what we need is to figure out the center position and the power forward position. And this year it's shown. The reason why we've lost a lot of games is rebounding. Defensive rebounding, for voice crack, especially offensive rebounding. Against Denver, this is a game we should have won, by the way. I really, truly believe that. But they had double the rebounds as us offensively. More than double. It's embarrassing when you get out-rebounded so bad, and it's defeating as a team that prides itself on defense. Yes, we're number one offense, but we're a team built on defense. And when you can't rebound the fucking ball and they get scored on with second and third chances, watching that as a fan and probably watching that as a player on the courts happening around you is defeating. And we have to really improve that. We really have to improve that. Jovic is tall, and he recently just got a big extension for him. For his output, we're really betting on his potential, and I am high on Jovic, but every game I'm less and less high on him because he has great scoring output and potential, but he's so fucking flimsy and inconsistent. It's like he runs like a loose dog without a leash when he has the ball, and sometimes that works out so well, and he has a great shot sometimes. Like his catch and shoot is insane to see, but then he has nights where he just misses or is just not there on defense, not there anywhere, not producing at all. He's a whip, a work in progress still. And I really don't know what to think about the Heat now, because we lost the first game, then we won the next two, then we lost one or two more, and then we went on a nice little winning streak, and we were undefeated at home. But then we just had a really bad loss to Cleveland at home, where we're up by 10 points in the third quarter, and then just got obliterated in the fourth. They came back in the final 2 minutes of the third quarter to make it from a 10-point game to like a 2-point game or 4-point game, and then they outscored us and won by 18, 16 points in the fourth quarter. We had no offensive life, and it reminds me of the team we had last year. When there's no number one option and the team isn't working together, you get nothing going. And that's the downside of the Heat, I guess. We don't have that number one option. Ware can't do shit. Powell can't always do shit. And without Bam, we lost to their G Leaguers, essentially. They didn't have their 3 All-Stars with Mobley, Mitchell, and Garland yesterday, and we still got obliterated by them. It's embarrassing as a Heat, as an offense, and as a team overall. And I really think an X factor, because I think about who's the X factor for us. Of course, you have Bam, Powell, Hero. Hero, I don't know what to say yet because he just hasn't been part of this offense at all. Even in preseason, he hasn't played a second, so I don't know how he's going to be. But I think Powell will consistently give us good stuff. Bam will be a defense guy. From time to time, he'll score too. That's just Bam. He's not much of a scorer, but he'll be all right. Wiggins has been doing great. Going into the season, I really thought Jovic was going to be our X factor. And I don't think he's consistent enough to be that anymore. Really, our X factor, who has been our X factor this year? 100% has been Jaime Jaquez Jr., Triple J. When he's on a roll, the team's on a fucking roll. Yesterday, he only scored 5 points. It was like one of 8 from the field. Was not doing great at all. And we lost that. But when he's scoring 25 off the bench as a 6th man, distributing the ball, getting fucking rebounds, getting 12 rebounds sometimes in games, we're winning. We're winning when Jaime is doing great and when he's leading the bench with that drive and power. So I think he's a very important part to our winning. I think secondly is going to be Khalil Ware. Ware is so important to our team because outside of him and Bam, there's no center for us. Pressure Chua, we had to let go because of cap space. And that's just reality. So, and Khalil Ware is interesting because I think he could be so talented. It's just, there's something off about him, man. When he plays with the fucking ball, there's just something off. I don't know what it is. It's like, It's like he has to be in positions to score. He can't create them himself. And then on a defensive side, he's a 7 foot tall guy, but he's limited in terms of guarding, and switching was very big in this NBA. He gets good rebounds, sure, but I feel like he could put more effort in, and he could be a little bit smarter with the ball and defending the ball too. But I really like him. But I think really him and Jaime are gonna be our X factors at the moment. Wiggins, I feel good about. Simone Fontecchio has been great. The entire team has been great. But when we're talking about making winning plays and having that extra oomph, was something as bad as our rebounding has been, Khalil Ware has to step the fuck up. That, and then I think with this new offense, turnovers is our secondary problem too. And last game was so fucking bad. We were out-rebounded offensively, yes, but we also had double the turnovers as the Cavs, especially down the final 2 quarters. It was so bad to see. Whereas careless passing, careless driving from Jovic, from Mitchell, from Drew Smith, even from everybody, where they're literally look. I hope you can fucking hear me. We're literally with the wait. Hey, so they're literally just like here, and they go ba ba ba, and then they lose the fucking ball, flail around, and then it goes, and then they score on the fast break, or they have a great possession, and we can't live with that at all. No, I don't know if you can hear that. We'll see. So I'm not sure what to do about the Heat. I had a very strong opinion before, now I don't. Because it's just, I think it's just like, are we just mid? Like, we beat the Knicks, we had a close game against Orlando, should have beaten Denver, beat the Cavs once, but then we just are also just showing signs of struggle. I mean, what's going to be big for us is these next 2 games, which are both against the Knicks on Sunday, and I think Monday or Tuesday after that. Or Saturday. We're playing the Knicks either Saturday or Sunday. I don't fucking know. With the Knicks, obviously a top team in the league. I think they're number 2 right now, or number 3, because they just lost yesterday. And we had a close game against them too. That's going to tell us a lot. It's obviously very early in the season, and there's a lot around the league. I mean, Oklahoma, like, holy fucking shit, Oklahoma. They've lost, 1 game so far this season. Then obliterated the Lakers yesterday, who I think have been a great team with Luka and Austin Reeves. Without LeBron even. They don't even look like they need LeBron. I mean, I think they do personally. I'm biased, Heat fan, and also my GOAT. But, yeah. We're going to see what's going to happen with that. Alright, it's quite late. I've been talking for a whole fucking while. It feels like an hour because I've been eating in between too. Probably more than an hour. But, hey, it's Russell. This has been my rant for the day. Much love and peace. Oh, saw the nipple there. Peace.